Let's talk about today's practice, which is from Thursday, August 18th, and look at some standout plays and players, a rare Justyn Ross sighting, yes, he's alive, and then look at 3 receivers who are definitely going to be seeing more action this Saturday with both JuJu Smith-Schuster and Mecole Hardman injured, and much freaking more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, aka the red-bearded, bald-headed crusher of Derek Carr's soul. I like that, or sometimes known as the number 15 of beards, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs. So make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button to wish me well as I put in notice at my day job to run this channel full-time. Not joking, and let's get into this video. It looks like today was Military Appreciation Day at Chiefs training camp, and you can see some of the Chiefs staff and players got to hang out, take photos, and sign gear for the troops there in attendance, and you love to see it. And hey, if you're serving in the military or have ever served in any capacity, y'all are the real freaking MVPs, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
We appreciate the military so we can do what we do in this great country. We do appreciate everything that the military does. It's great to bring them out here. They appreciate it, and we appreciate having them here.
I also want to note that today was the last day of training camp in St. Joe, and camp will now essentially continue with closed practices at the Chiefs team facility in KC until regular season roster cuts are due on August 30th. Coach Reid, Mahomes, and Nick Bolton all seem satisfied with the team's progress over the course of training camp so far.
Yeah, so I think if you look back, this camp went fairly fast. Not a lot of distractions. Guys coming in, working hard. Patrick and his attitude, it's a positive attitude from your leadership group, and he tries to get better every day. Kelsey tries to get better every day. Chris Jones tries to get better. Frank Clark. I appreciate that, and that becomes contagious.
The days don't feel as long when you got Chris Jones in your locker room. Him, Frank, Bink, all those D-line guys, just chopping it up with those guys, Turk, Mike, Dana, all those guys kind of make it fun to be here.
Coach Reid runs a tough training camp. It's just kind of what we've been known for. I think it makes us better for it. And I think guys, as we went on, understood that, and they came out with the mindset they're going to compete every single day. And I think you saw offense have good days, you saw defense have good days, and that's usually a good sign for a good football team.
And as far as injuries go, no additional injuries today. Praise the heavens, which is good, but things currently look like this. Blake Bell is out with that hip flexor from last Saturday's game. Lucas Niang is out with the knee since forever ago, and then Coach gave an update on both Mecole Hardman and Chris Jones, who left practice early yesterday.
Just real quick on the injuries, Mecole still has a groin spasm. It's getting better. We'll see about playing. Chris Jones has back spasm. We'll see about playing there. He is getting better.
So Mecole has been listed as having a groin spasm, whatever that is, but Jordan Schultz tweeted this out earlier today. Great news regarding injured Chiefs wide receiver Mecole Hardman. Source says it's not serious. He suffered a groin injury and is doing okay. Well, all right then, Jordan. I appreciate that information. Jeffrey Chadia also echoed Jordan Schultz in a sense, as he had a source tell him the groin injury sustained by Mecole is not severe and that he should be fine. So Mecole's injury does not seem to be that big of a deal, quite minor in fact. And then Big Red mentioned that Chris Jones had a back spasm, but he's doing better. And Coach said, we'll see about them playing in regards to this Saturday's game against the Commanders. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use my beard privileges to overrule the potential possibility here and say they better not play one down this Saturday against the Washington Redbeards. Not one. I mean, why risk it for the biscuit in a preseason game? Not worth it. Now, in regards to JuJu Smith-Schuster, Andy Reid was very brief about this man.
Smith, you know about, right? So JuJu's making progress with his knee. Yeah, I don't think JuJu will probably play this game. Yeah.
You think he'll be back in practice next week?
I think there's a good chance, yeah.
So Andy said JuJu is making good progress. But what does that mean? And what is the extent of JuJu's sore knee? Redbeard must know all of these things right freaking now. And at the end of practice today, they all had players come out and join the team on the field, and this included Chris Jones, Mecole Hardman, Justyn Ross, more on him in a moment, and JuJu Smith-Schuster. And this clip you are seeing here, it shows Justyn Ross and JuJu walking together to join the team on the field. And at first, I didn't notice much about JuJu because I was watching Justyn walk in that boot. But someone pointed out to me on Twitter that JuJu was limping here in this video, and Pete Sweeney confirmed as much when he tweeted out, quote, as JuJu Smith-Schuster walked down the hill as part of Military Day, a fan asked him how his knee was, and he said this, it's getting better. And as you watch this video, you can see JuJu is favoring one leg when he's walking. So someone that can't even walk without a limp is going to be back in practice next week. I mean, hey, I'm no doctor, and the Chiefs medical staff is top freaking notch. So while part of me thinks JuJu's injury may take a bit of time to heal, I'll just take coach's word on it, assuming he's spoken with the Chiefs medical staff, and that is that. But now back to Justyn Ross here for a moment. If you didn't know, the Chiefs opted to operate on his foot again as it was bothering him still, or again rather, during OTAs. And he was seen here in this photo from July 9th in what looked like the same walking boot he was in today. But back then he was using a scooter to get around. You fast forward 6 weeks later though, and here he is on this very day, possibly in the same boot, but now walking unassisted and appearing to get around pretty well. Time will tell about Ross, but again, the Chiefs medical staff are ballers, certified ballers, and will take good care of him as they stash this man away on IR for the season, and hopefully he has a great year of recovery and then gives it a full go next year. And speaking of recovery, it looks like Jerick McKinnon's hamstring is already better as he returned to practice today, but to what extent he practiced, I'm not 100% sure. Also, long snapper James Winchester was back today after missing yesterday's practice due to a personal reason, and that's it for the injuries and players absent. So now let's look at today's practice specifically. It was a lighter workout, a 10-10-10 practice in which the team cycled through 10 offensive plays, 10 defensive plays, and 10 minutes of special teams, in which the first team offense is served by the second team defense and vice versa. So do not read too much into this practice itself, as it's basically set up for the first team to succeed. Anyway, Pete Sweeney made a few notes about the practice, and I found it worthy of sharing, and the notes are as follows. In the first period, CEH, Sky Moore, Noah Gray, Justin Watson, Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis Kelce all saw targets, and Corey Coleman and DeRuse Fountain were seen getting in the mix as well in the second period. Sweeney then mentioned that MVS had 5 targets and caught all 5 of them today. And that is some great freaking news if you ask the Beard. QBs Shane Buechele and Dustin Crum ran the second and third team offenses, and on the defensive side of the ball, cornerbacks Jalen Watson and L'Jarius Sneed, as well as safeties Deion Bush, Zane Anderson, and Juan Thornhill all had pass breakups. Then rookie cornerback Trent McDuffie had 2 ints, aka interceptions. Defensive end Mike Dana and linebacker Nick Bolton both nearly had a pick as well. And speaking of Nick Bolton himself, he spoke to the media today saying the defense is young, yes, but they're coming in with an attitude to prove themselves this season.
We're young, so we're not going to be perfect every single play. We can make it up with running around, having fun, speed to the ball, again, 11 hats to the ball, creating turnovers, just having fun and having juice. And so we're going to that's our creed going into the season. We're going to live by that. We're going to run around, have fun. We're going to have an attitude defense this year for sure.
And from here, let's look at some video highlights from today's practice. Isaiah Pacheco could be seen in this clip with a quick go route of sorts and has to wait for the ball a bit here because he is one fast man. Then Ronald Jones could be seen with a nice catch and run here, running with Dustin Crum in the third team offense. But what does that mean for Rojo? No idea. But we're going to see this man play Saturday for sure, so be on the lookout for number 2. Cornell Powell caught a quick pass here in this clip with Fenton in coverage, and here's a very quick connect from Shane Buechele to Matt Bushman. And then we're not done. There's a few receivers I want to talk about because with JuJu out this week, as well as Mecole Hardman, these receivers are definitely going to be getting more looks. And the first is Justin Watson, who you can see absolutely torching Zane Anderson on this connect for a TD. Watson is someone I still think has pretty much locked up that wide receiver 5 spot and will be getting more opportunities in Saturday's game to further prove he has what it takes. The next receiver will be the rookie Sky Moore, who didn't see any looks with the first team last weekend against the Bears, but I fully expect this man to be out there against the Commanders, catching passes that look similar to this one from Mahomes for a touchdown. I like that. Let's go. And then Mahomes spoke specifically about both Sky and Watson during his presser today and is excited for both of them to get more opportunities to make plays come this Saturday.
You saw guys like Sky and Justin Watson kind of make plays when they came in this first preseason game with Shane and Chad. For them to make plays there, they're going to give them obviously more reps with me in this game. So I'm interested to see how they kind of maximize that opportunity. And so for them to get in there and get some opportunity to run with the ones, I think it'll help us out in the long run whenever we do get those guys back to having a good group of guys that can go in at any time.
And then the next guy on this wide receiver list who's going to get more looks with JuJu and Mecole both out is one who saw a couple passes from Mahomes against the Bears, and this is no surprise that he will definitely be seeing at least that or even more against the Commanders, That is the speedy Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Mahomes said it was good to get work in with these guys during OTAs and really saw progression from them come into fruition over the course of training camp.
I think it was very, very good for them to kind of get down here, see how we do things. And now as we get back to Kansas City and get closer to this season, we'll refine that and make sure they're ready to go then.
Patrick said his training camp standout players were Chris Jones, Noah Gray, and another tight end, Jody Fortson.
Chris Jones, I mean, he was dominant. It's the first one that I think of. I thought Noah Gray had a great camp, kind of making stuff happen. I thought Jody, up until the injury, but he was having a great camp, and I thought he was kind of bouncing back as he got back involved.
Mahomes did shout out Justyn Watson and MVS as well, guys who have speed, yes, but also can make high point contested catches for the ball. He's definitely excited for this upcoming season because the ball is going to go every which freaking way this year. But before we get too ahead of ourselves with this upcoming season, let's chat about this very next preseason game first. Coach Reid let the media know today what the game plan was for Saturday, and it is as follows.
We'll go somewhere first half with ones. It might be shorter than that, but I'm going to just see how things go, and then the rest of the guys will fill in. Chad Henne won't play this game like last year. We've sit him and give the two young guys some extra time.
Charles Goldman of Chiefs Wire said, quote, last year, Patrick Mahomes played 32 snaps in preseason week 2. The starting offensive line played upwards of 40 snaps, which means we should see at least one series with Buechele behind the team's starting offensive line if things go according to plan this year. So more time from Mahomes, but each additional snap that he plays will completely terrify me. Be sure of that. Mahomes' goal in the first preseason game last week was to get hit, and hit he got, very aggressively, I might add, thanks to Andrew Wiley, but his plan for week 2 is a little bit different.
I'm not trying to get hit as hard as I did the first one, so I want to get out there. I want to, kind of like you always want to do in the preseason, you want to move the ball down the field, kind of go through the procedure of everything. Hopefully you get at least one touchdown in there. I mean, our goal is to score every time we're on the field, every opportunity that Coach Reid gives me. But you want to be in and out the huddle the right way, at moving the ball and executing the offense.
So there you have it. What did you guys think about today's practice and pressers? Was there anything that was done or said that stood out to you all? What are your thoughts on the 3 receivers I mentioned, which would be Sky Moore, MVS, and Justyn Watson, all getting more looks with the ones this Saturday against the Commanders? Or maybe you have some other receivers in mind that are going to step up with McCole and JuJu out. Maybe wide receivers like DeRuse Fountain, Josh Gordon, or Corey Coleman. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below, and let's fight about it down there like everybody on Twitter today, other than Browns fans who say Deshaun Watson's suspension was nowhere near long enough. Make sure to leave a super thanks or a bearded comment to potentially be featured in an upcoming vid. Sub, like, you know the deal. Then check out this video here, boop, boop, which is a quick up the hill episode featuring Trent McDuffie and him surviving a zombie apocalypse. And until next time,
let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those Chiefs?